Right, what's up, guys? Get my question here. All right, this one says, "Hey, Mark. Uh, I watch a lot of law of attraction, spiritual stuff. Personally, I think it's a bunch of baloney. However, I am starting to see a little bit of progress in it, according to the quantum physics of it, but I'm not totally sold on it yet. Is there any way that you're sure to guarantee that we can guarantee that 100% of what we want is on the way to us? Maybe you can shed some light on this and explain more to me. I love the science aspect of it. Maybe that will nudge me and my mind will start to believe more." Check it, all type of questions, right? So all type of questions come in. But I find this is a good topic because, there's a lot of people that aren't totally sold on how they create their lives. So, that's fine. So we always like to use the science to go into this stuff, right? Right? Science and physics of all how your desires create and come into your world. All right. So is there a way to 100% guarantee to know that what you want is on the way to you? Yes, there actually is a way to know this. Yes, 100% that it's on the way to you. Okay? So we can do that, and we're going to do that with quantum physics. So let's begin first. All right, so did you know that your consciousness, your mind, whatever you know, your mind, it exists in different timelines? Did you know that, right? Did you also know that time itself is one representation or one factor of a big block of the now? And did you also know within that time space perimeter, there are also a lot of you that are living there right now? Not only there's a lot of you living there, how about there's an infinite amount of you living there? Now look, I'm going into science, so this may sound science fiction, but this is now science fact because equations are showing us this stuff, right? So let's move on. So not only there's like a lot of you, but there's an infinite amount of you, and then these infinite amounts of you are living infinite amounts of lives or decision based on your one conscious thought. Like if you think of something, what you didn't think of, it branches off and creates a new world of you. Did I get over your head? Would you like me to repeat it? Or is it a little too deep for some of you? Let me know if it's a little too deep. I could break it down in more simplistic terms for you to show you. Okay, someone says yes, please repeat. Okay, let's go. Let me see if I can bring it down to more like a childlike state here. Okay. All right. Okay, when you think of something, thought, what is happening in the brain? Well, what's actually happening is you have electrochemical signals, electricity. Your body is electricity and water, electromagnetism. Everything that you feel is created by an electrical pulse. So the electrical pulse will send something to the brain. The brain will create an image. The image is what you see in the mind. Okay, but the body doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. So what you see in the mind, the body thinks it's actually happening in real life. Got that? So does that make sense? Okay. Now, because the body thinks it's happening in real life, the mind controls the body. The body reacts to the mind. Therefore, the mind is reality. Okay. Now, if we break that down even more simpler, what is the mind and the body? So first of all, the body is breaking down into little cells or particles. The mind is the same thing, but the mind is everywhere. The mind now has you in it, which is called consciousness. You are the whole mind, but you came down to one point to be Mark or John or Sarah. And because you became Mark, John, or Sarah, because the universe and everything is infinite, and the particles that make up you and I, they are not infinite. So if something is long, the particles make you and I have to kind of repeat somewhere down the line because there's an endless stop to repeat it. So it has to repeat. If it was not, then it wouldn't repeat. So the fact that you have to repeat somewhere down the line, that means there's a whole bunch of you and I walking around right now. And a whole bunch of you and I are in different realities, experiencing different stuff. Now, let's go into the manifestation part of it. See how that works? Now, the signs that you're going to get 100% of what you want is we have to go to the mind again. We have to go to the mental world. In the mind, it sees all things possible. Everything you see in the mind, the things that you can imagine, are always possible. Whatever you can't see in the mind is not in your frame. Whatever you can see in the mind is happening somewhere in your frame. Does that make sense? Whatever you can see in your mind is somewhere happening right this moment. Okay? Does that make sense? I cured my what? Anxiety with this knowledge. That's good. All right. So since the mind and everything you can see in your mind is happening somewhere all the time, that means you are somewhere all the time having the experience. But the thing is, the experience you're having is in another timeline in the mind. So you want to bring that timeline into this physical experience. That's what we want to do, right? You don't want to see it in the mind and not experience it. It's like teasing you, right? So how do you bring that with what you see in the mind into the physical experience? That's the major $1 million question right there. Everybody can see stuff in their head. You can visualize you're a successful star, music, money, all that. But man, it's good to see that stuff, but damn, man, how can I get that stuff in my head to get it to be real? That's what all of you want. Correct. That's what every single human being wants or desires. Yes, so there is a way you can do that, because what you see in your mind is there, but guess here's the big picture about it though. Did you know that what you see in your mind, the image and all that stuff, did you know it's like right go in you, it's like right around you right now? It's like, look, it's like right here. Like look right here, right here. It's right up around you, but you haven't matched the frequency to get to experience it. So here's the big secret. We live on bandwidths of frequencies. Frequencies are like radio stations. You got to be able to tune in to listen to the jazz, the hip hop, the rock and roll. If you don't know the frequency to tune in, you will never ever experience it, even though it's right next to you. Makes sense, right? So let me ask someone a question. Let me ask you a question. How do you tune into the frequency of what you want? How do you think it works? This is so simple. I'm going to give you the answer. So if you're seeing this, you may want to write this down, because this is the most important lesson you'll ever learn in your life that will totally shift your life into the direction that you want it to go. How do we do that? Someone here says, shifting your thoughts. No. Shifting your thoughts is the part of it, but that won't alone get you to the frequency. Feeling it? No. Feeling it alone won't get you to the frequency. Detachment? No. Detachment comes after you do something very important. Envision what you want as you have it? No. That won't get you to the frequency. I know someone here must be saying, damn, this dude just talked about all the stuff that you need to manifest, and he said none of it can get you to the frequency. Somebody says you got to shift your thoughts. Somebody says you got to shift your feelings. Somebody says you got to do. Now, I said that alone won't get you. Those are important things to do to get you. Believe in it? Okay, we're getting warm. Believe in it? Yeah, okay. But still won't get you to the frequency. Reprogram the subconscious mind? Bing, 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 bing. Bingo. That will get you to the frequency. But here's what you got to do. If you don't even have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Well, you have to reprogram your subconscious mind. But if you do this one thing I'm about to reveal to you right now, you will always be 100%, I say 100% guaranteed to experience what you see in your head at one day in your life. It's going to come true. You ready for the answer? Write this down. Repetition. Do the same thing over, over, over. It tunes, locks you into the frequency. When you have a radio station, when you want to get to the frequency, you got to do turn. You do the knob. Digital, press the knob. You raise your vibration to the frequency. Whenever you have a thought, if you repeat that thought often, you get to the frequency. Whenever you have a feeling, if you sustain that feeling often, you get to the frequency. So it's not just the thought, it's not just the feeling, it's the act of repetition to that feeling. That is the secret to anything. When I won the lottery, it was repetition. I kept playing until I got my desired results. That was my motto. I'll keep repeating the process till I get what I desire. And what do you know? I got exactly what I desired. And I kept doing it again. So, someone asked me, man, is there a guaranteed way to get what I want? Don't slack off. Don't do it halfway. Don't do it when you... I'm gonna do it like today. I'm gonna stop. You don't do that. Now, that's in my book. Now look, can anyone tell me why it works that way? You have to know this stuff. This is the knowledge that you have to know to shift and change. So if you don't know, I'll teach you. So can anyone tell me, why do I have to repeat this stuff to change? Why can't I just think about it and I get it? Why do I have to do all this, what people call it, work? Some say repetition, some say let go. Yes, but in order to let go of something, you have to know the something you desire. And the only way to know the something you desire is to have a thought of it or a feeling of it. And then when you repeat the thought and feeling of it, then it starts to become entangled with you, and then that's letting go. Now I must say this, however, that there is a snake in the there's a monkey wrench in here thing that can mess you up. You see, guys, you have an ego, and whenever we tend to think of something over and over, we tend to become what? Attached. Become desperate, because our mind has the idea that we really, really want it. So I must interject and show you something very important that you have to do to this process. So here's how you fix the interjection of the ego. I'm going to show you how to fix that so you won't become attached and you can become detached, which is they call letting go. All you have to do is, when you think of the stuff you want and you feel the stuff you want, the only thing you have to do is make it fun and normal. Make it seem like it's a fun game and it's a normal thing. If you do those two things, you will never become attached. You will always become detached, and you always be able to let go so it can come in. That way you get the equation of your ego mind out of the picture. All right, now listen to what I was saying earlier, because this is important. Why do we do it like that? Why does it have to work like that? I want you to see what I'm going to show you right now. Why does it have to work like that, man? What's the deal? What is the reason we have to repeat something to get what we want in our lives? Well, here's the answer. I don't know if many of you are probably like lost right now, but okay. Here's the answer to that. It's the way your brain is set up to process reality. Your brain processes reality by looking for patterns. If it can't see a pattern, it's not going to do anything. Everything is patterns. Patterns run the universe. If it's not in a pattern, it's not going to come into your life. In other words, if it's not consistent, you're not going to get the results. You don't become what you are. You don't become a musician by playing the instrument one time. You become a musician by practicing every day. You don't play the piano by playing it one time. You don't train by doing it one time. Nothing works like that. The universe is made of patterns. When you put something in the brain, it is called synaptic pruning. When the more consistent you are, you grow new brain cells, and the brain and the subconscious accepts this is a new command for my life. This is a new way for my life to work. That is called the repetition of manifestation. So if you're someone out there and you want to guarantee 100% you're going to get what you want or what you've been manifesting, you have to become an expert at pattern implementation and pattern recognition. If you can do that, then everything you want must come into your life. Here's the key. I say it must come into your life. And I can go deeper on that. I can prove to you why it must come into your life as a physical experience. And we will go into the world of science and quantum mechanics to show you why it must come into your life. Because if you don't know this, there's this thing called the electron. The electron, there's a whole bunch of other particles, but let's focus on the electron because it's the primary thing that we creates. The other has a part. But the electron is this little thing here that it's waiting on you to focus on something. When you focus on something, you activate the electron from a state of what we call nothingness. And nothingness means it's in all possible outcomes. It means that when I say nothingness, it means nothing and everything exists all at once. So the electron is like this thing that just chills. Electron is like, okay, let me make it easy for you. It's like the electron is like your friend at the bar. You go out with the friend, and if the friend is bored at the bar, your friend you're not gonna have fun, right? Because you're with your friend. So the electron is like if he's bored, he's just gonna sit there, and whatever you do, he's just not gonna get. But you gotta do something to excite the electron, your friend. So if you do something, your friend's gonna get happy. The energy is gonna rub off on you, and you're gonna feel happy, right? So if your friend is having a good time, you're having a good time. Yeah, you don't want to go out together and your friend is not having a bad time and it rubs off on you. That's how the electron works. So how do you excite the electron to create what you want? And remember now, the electron is what creates physical reality. I'm making it simplified terms. So how do I excite the electron? I excite my electron by focusing on something over and over. When I put my attention on something like this, and I keep thinking about the something in a fun way, the electron now jumps from what they call the superposition state, which is the state of nothingness and everything, and it pops into what they call a definite thing state, a real thing state. That's why 100% you will always be guaranteed to get your desires when you apply this process. Voila. So there it is. That's how you turn the possibility of what you want into the 100% actuality to receiving it. Now I could take it a step deeper. Apart from the electron, what creates the electron? Where does the electron live? Where does this guy come from? I know everything has to have a beginning, right, Mark? No, everything doesn't have a beginning. The universe is, but we'll go a little step further. Man, so what is there something that create behind the electron? Yes, there's something that creates the electron. Nope, it's not God. Huh? There is no God, people. You are God. I don't know if you know this. Religion is a business. You got to recognize that. So let me show you what in science. Physics. So what creates the electron is you, or what's called, rather you're called your awareness, which leads to your higher self. The higher self is the consciousness. It's the field that has all knowledge and information Without awareness or consciousness, there cannot be an electron to observe. You have to be aware to see, to feel, to whatever. So we know that consciousness must be a priority of the universe. Without the consciousness, there cannot be no electron, no atom, no you and I. So that comes from that. Now, well, your consciousness, it is also your true self. That's right. I said there is no God. God is a term that man made up. They have gods. You have a god of wealth. You have a god of health. If you go back in time, if you go back into tradition, in Hinduism and Buddhism, there's hundreds of gods. So you cannot use the term God, my friend. It is a limitational thought process. Okay? So get the word God out of your head. Did you know when you spell dog backwards, you know what that spells? God. So what language is used as a sophisticated tool to limit who you truly are? So let's just use source, energy, or higher self, whatever you want to call it. Okay? That's what the universe is made of. But let me go back to my point where I want to show you something deep here so you can understand. I said I was going to take it another step further, right? So here's a step further. So when this higher self, you could call that higher self God if you want, if that makes you feel more, whatever, but just in terms to make it simple. So you got this higher self out there. What this higher self does, it's not in a 3D world. So it's in the infinite realm. So it can see everything, okay? So what it does, to show you 100% you're going to get what you want, it also funnels signs and confirmation to you in the 3D world to show you that you're going to get 100%, you're going to get what you want. Okay, let me show you what it does. It sends stuff to your dream. When you dream of something and it comes true. It sends stuff in synchronicity when you see the signs of what you want is about to come true. It sends stuff with other people. It makes people talk about what you want that you never talked to them about before. All of a sudden, how the hell they knew I was going to manifest it? I never told this person, but yet they're in front of me talking about it. It does that stuff. What else it does? It gives you premonition. It sends visions. It makes you remote view your thing before it comes in. What else it does? It gives you intense feelings. It makes you feel this certain feeling of peace when you talk about it, where you just feel like it's here. That's also coming from that realm. So when you have those two factors together, you're 100% guaranteed to what? Get what you want. And I'll go back in the beginning. Why am I guaranteed to get what I want? Because everything is mental. The universe is mentalism. Everything I showed you in the beginning of this live, it's in the mind, and the mind processes through electrochemical signals. Now let's take it a little step further. What is electricity? What are electrical impulses? That's how we live. That's how we are. Right now, you are a walking electrical machine. Your heart is running electricity. If you don't have electricity, you're not here. What is electricity? Electricity is light. What is light? I'm just making it simple. We could get deeper. What is light? Particles. What are particles? Non-physical form. Transparency. What are you? Transparency. If you're transparent, you cannot be physical. Hence, physical must be an illusion. What is an illusion? Something to make you believe or think something is what it is, but it actually isn't. See how that works? Got it. So once you do that, boom, it comes into your reality. So that's the answer, and I'll see you guys next time. We'll get some more good topics.